Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who lived with their mother and father in a tiny cottage. The 3 little pigs grew and grew until one day they were too big to live in the cottage. Their mother decided it was time for them to leave home.
You must go and build your own houses.
Father Pig told them,
Walking.
"Me, I really need you to be a listener." Did you say it? Did you tell me about the wolf? Okay, great. So they promised to watch for the big bad wolf and waved goodbye and set off into the big wide world. Soon they met someone carrying a bundle of straw. The first little pig thought that straw would make a good house.
Maybe have some of the straw.
So the first little pig built herself a house made of straw. The second and third little pigs went on down the road. It wasn't long before they saw someone carrying a bundle of sticks.
May I have some sticks too?
So the second little pig built herself a house of sticks, and she was very pleased with her house. What did you say? Okay. The third little pig walked on down the road. Soon she met someone carrying a load of bricks. The third little pig thought that bricks would make a fine house. So the third little pig built herself a house of bricks. She stacked brick after brick after brick. She piled them higher and higher. She put on the doors, she put on the handles, she put on the roof and the shingles. She made the chimney. Finally, her house was done and she was very pleased with her house. Now, the next day, the big bad wolf walked down the road to the first little pig's house of straw. He had one thing on his mind, a nice, juicy pig for his breakfast. He stomped up to the front door, knocked loudly, and shouted at the little pig.
Little pig, let me come in. No, not for help me. Then I'll hop, then I'll blow you.
So the big bad wolf huffed, and she puffed, and she huffed, and she puffed, and she blew the house in. And the little pig ran as fast as she could to her sister's house. The big bad wolf grunted and walked off down the road to the second little pig's house. She stomped up to the front door. She knocked loudly and yelled at the little pig.
Little pig, let me come in. No, not by the name of the king. Then I'll hop, and I'll pop, and I'll blow your house in.
So she huffed, and she puffed, and she huffed, and she puffed, and she blew the house in. The two little pigs ran as fast as they could to their sister's house. The big bad wolf went off down the road in a huff. She came to the third little pig's house. She stomped up to the front door. She knocked loudly
Knock.
and bellowed at the little pig.
Little pig, let me come in.
You know what?
Not by the name. Then I'll hop, and I'll pop, and I'll blow your house in.
So the big bad wolf huffed, and she puffed, and she huffed, and she puffed, but she could not blow the house in. She was getting very cross. She grumbled loudly, and then she started to climb onto the roof of the brick house. She roared at the little pigs.
Little pig, I'm coming down your chimney.
But the three little pigs could hear the wolf shouting as he climbed up the chimney, and he shouted again.
I'm coming down your chimney.
But they had thought up a plan. They put a big pot of water over the fire in the fireplace. The wolf came sorry. It was boiling hot. The wolf came crashing down the chimney and fell straight into the steaming pot. That big bad wolf jumped out of the pot with a yelp. The big bad wolf ran off down the road and never bothered the three little pigs again. They were very pleased that the wolf had gone. They all lived together happily ever after in the house made of bricks. Right, green line, green line.
Yay!